As the coronavirus spreads in parts of the country, local health officials say they are ready.
Coming up, a crash between a semi and an SUV in Bell County leaves one person in serious condition. We'll have more in just a few minutes.
Brandon Robinson and I are out here live at our weather radio event at WD Bryant here in Corbin. And coming up in just a few minutes, I'll tell you about the snowy weather we could be dealing with tomorrow, right now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good evening again. I'm Steve Hensley.
And I'm Madison Pergram.
A crash today in Bell County between a semi and an SUV left one man with serious injuries. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked to deputies who responded to that crash.
It started out a normal morning on Highway 119 when around 11:30.
We had a SUV that was northbound and a southbound semi was coming towards it, and they struck. So lots of scenarios go through your head on the way.
It wasn't exactly head-on, but came close.
To cut the frame of the door frame, and then they could remove him safely that way.
Leaving the driver with serious injuries.
He hit the first, it appeared to hit the front wheel and then bounced down through the fuel tank and then hit the front wheels of the back duals.
Even with the road back open, the biggest questions still linger on 119. What caused it and how did this happen? In Bell County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Police do not know the extent of that driver's injuries just yet, and they're still working to figure out what led up to that crash.
Severe Weather Awareness Week continues in Kentucky, and today our Chief Meteorologist Paige Noel is in Corbin programming weather radios. Let's check in with Paige to see how everything's going. Paige?
Hey Madison, hey Steve. Yeah, we are still out here at WD Bryant here in Corbin programming weather radios, just like you said, and we're going to be out here until 7, so you got about another hour or so. So bring your weather radios from home. We have a couple here that you can purchase, and yes, we'll program those for you as well. We have events set up like this across the mountains over the next month or so, so we'll release that next date here coming up soon. But as for the weather outside, it's looking pretty good out there right now. Not looking the best though as we head into tomorrow. But looking into downtown Whitesburg, you're seeing kind of that mixture of sun and clouds. We're going to see more clouds as we head into tonight, but it's those temperatures that are making it feel amazing out there. Low to mid 60s, some spots into the 50s, but feeling great. That wind a little bit chilly out there, but that sunshine makes it feel a little bit warmer. Looking at the forecast for the rest of this evening, kind of hour by hour, we're going to start to see those clouds increase, and a few rain chances could even increase throughout the overnight hours. We look to drop it to about the mid to upper 30s overnight. Once again, stray rain chance here or two, and kind of seeing those cloudy skies. We're going to go from the 60s today to the 40s and 30s tomorrow, and maybe even a little bit of snow. So definitely some Kentucky weather coming at you here tomorrow, but the weekend is looking pretty nice. I'll have those details coming up in a little bit.
Thank you, Paige. Well, today, James Ronnie McIntosh appeared before a judge for sentencing in a Perry County courtroom. In late January, a jury found him guilty of murdering Danny Mullins. The judge took the jury's recommendation, and McIntosh received 20 years for the murder charge and 5 years for tampering with evidence charge. Those will be served concurrently, and the judge said McIntosh will have to serve at least 85% of his sentence.
A Floyd County doctor arrested in the largest prescription opioid takedown in U.S. history will not face any jail time. Mohammed Mazumdar pleaded guilty last year to 1 count of conspiracy to unlawfully distributing controlled substances. The Lexington Herald-Leader reports the doctor was fined $10,000 and will spend the next 6 months on home incarceration. He also received 6 months of home detention.
Well, it was a scary and dangerous situation for police officers in Pineville last night. A police chase that started in Tennessee ended in Pineville. Middlesboro police officers and Kentucky State Police troopers joined in the chase after it entered Kentucky. Police say at one point Christopher Powell swerved his car towards officers. The only way officers could end the chase was by pinning Powell's vehicle against the guardrail. Powell is charged with numerous crimes and was taken to the Bell County Detention Center. Our Emily Bennett will have much more on this at 11. And as new cases of the coronavirus arise every day, officials are working to help educate the public on the risks surrounding it.
Today, Tennessee confirmed its first case of the virus. Now, there are still none in Kentucky.
Health officials in eastern Kentucky say they are ready. WYMT's Will Puckett has more.
As new cases of the novel coronavirus are diagnosed across the country, medical professionals are working to educate the public.
It's important for people to know not to panic about the coronavirus.
Dr. Maria Brayman is the chief medical officer for the ARH system and says she believes fear of the virus comes from its new origins.
It is a novel virus or a new virus, which means we don't have immunity. So the likelihood of contracting the virus if you're in contact with it is a higher likelihood.
While the body does not have a natural immunity to it, the likelihood of it becoming something to worry about in America is low.
In the United States right now, we are all at low risk of contracting the coronavirus.
Dr. Brayman acknowledges the virus has killed Americans.
And it's not the same in China, but certainly in our country, what we have seen at this point is that elderly people with comorbidities or many different kinds of illnesses, chronic illnesses, are the people at highest risk of dying from the coronavirus.
However, the average person in the United States has a greater risk of being impacted by the common flu than COVID-19.
With the flu or influenza, there is a bimodal distribution, and we see the elderly who are sick and have additional illnesses, as well as children that die from the flu.
The precautions people need to take for the coronavirus are much the same as those taken to prevent from contracting the flu.
Be smart. Be smart means wash your hands, utilize alcohol-based hand washing.
Common practices that can be adopted year-round to prevent from being sick with either a new virus or the common cold. In Hazard, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
And again, Governor Beshear held a news conference this afternoon saying there are still no cases in Kentucky. You can see that entire news conference on our website, WYMT.com. Well, the Lee's campus of Hazard Community and Technical College held a grand opening today for the E.O. Robinson Intergenerational Center.
WYMT's Dakota Makris was at the ceremony in Jackson and spoke to college leaders about the importance of this new building.
A project years in the making.
This was a dream.
It took a while for the college to get the funding for the new center.
The community really stepped up and a lot of people contributed to the project, and it just took a while to put together the total funding package.
Dr. Jay Box served as the president of HCTC from 2002 to 2007. He saw the very first plans for the new building.
While I was here, we started a capital campaign to raise money, and this was one of the buildings that we really planned out at that time.
The E.O. Robinson Intergenerational Training Center allows the college to
provide highly skilled, highly technical training to produce the workforce of the future.
Not only looking at the college's future, but also its students.
We have students from Jackson Independent and Breathitt County High Schools, and they are training in advanced manufacturing.
Offering training in specific fields.
These facilities allow us to do training in PLCs, hydraulics, machining, and mechatronics.
And to sum up the day,
to see the intergenerational building actually come to fruition is just such a dream come true for me.
The new center is already paving the way for the future. In Breathitt County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
If you're interested in any healthcare or advanced manufacturing training, you can call Hazard Community and Technical College. That number 1-800-246-7521.
And the city of Hazard continues to crack down on unsafe and rundown buildings. The city is looking at properties that pose a safety risk to the community members. We talked with a city official today who says they are focused on larger issues.
Properties that could be fire hazards, could be issues that, if they collapse, they could fall onto another house, or if someone was nearby, they could hurt somebody.
The city posted an online form to report nuisance properties. The city will also have paper copies available at City Hall soon. The city does ask that you read the linked materials that define a nuisance property, and we'll have a link on our website at WYMT.com.
And we're looking at a little bit of snow and some cooler temperatures for your Friday, but the weekend's looking gorgeous. I'll have those details coming up.
And coming up at 6, Perry County rallies behind a woman who's helped many become healthier for years after her own recent health diagnosis.